today. And right now I'm working on some beets. No matter how I try, I always lose a piece of beets. And just like that, this entire tray is done. Can you believe it? One whole tray of carrots and beets. And this is all I got. No, just kidding. I got a little bit more. I mean, I did get this entire bowl full of carrot, right? So I have carrot and I have beets. And I'm going to strain the last of my beet. I think I'm going to just add it, the remainder to here. I'm going to strain to get rid of the extra pulp or fiber, depends on what you want to name it. So that's be good. And I'm going to pour the rest into the carrot mixture. Oops, look at that. Oh, the lid came right. Look at that. See how that is red and rich? Yeah. That's his way of telling you not to worry, darling. So you guys hopped on here to see the mess that I'm doing. It's not mess, really. Doesn't this look? I mean, it feels super cool. This is the extra fiber from the, you could call it pulp, from the beetroot. So when you juice it and extract all the juice, then you're left with some very small, tiny fibers from your veggies, because it is vegetables. And what are vegetables known for? Giving you rich fiber, right? So that's bottle number 1 of my beet and ginger, bottle number 2, and the rest is all carrot, but I'm mixing in the remainder of my beets into this carrot because I'm making carrot and beetroot ginger juice. But there's no water added, no sugar added. So you're getting very, very rich combination to boost blood. And because I want to force every little bit of the juice out, I'm playing around with my food. Hey, hello, hi. How you doing? Welcome. Bonjour. Comment ça va? sing. How many languages did I just use? 3, 4, 5? Okay. I'm done playing with my food for now. But it's just so fun. It's like Play-Doh without being heavy like Play-Doh. You guys know I'm kind of weird that way. I like to play with my food sometimes. But I tried it earlier and it is so, so sweet. So if you're someone who don't like eating veggies, this is the excellent way to have your veggies by having your veggie juice. And that's the residue from my beets. It looks like something like I could use this literally and put it on a wall and paint my wall with my fingers just from the beetroot. But yeah. Twellyah's World. Don't worry, I can send you the link later. We have some friends by and they're leaving now. I'll see them this weekend. God's willing. Thank you, sweetie. Take care. Bye, Mika. Bye, Neymar. By the weekend, I hope to have more energy. Yeah, guys. So, yeah, thank you for stopping by. So I'm just cleaning up my bottles. Ooh, I can't find the lid for this one. Ooh, where is it? I'm not sure. But I got inspired while I was doing this that maybe, just maybe, I should be doing some baking. So using the pulp, the residue from the juice, to bake a cake. I wonder what it would taste like. I think it would be amazing. So look, I'm gonna experiment with this, guys. I feel inspired to experiment today. I'm gonna get something so I can make something. No, I should say I'm gonna get some things so I can make something. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cover these over. I will add them. Look at that nice rich drink. Technically, I could pour this in there. Yeah, that is looking fantastic. Maybe I'll do some more carrots later because it's going to be served at a luncheon. And I thought I'd do something different. Rather than the traditional juice, why not bring some veggie juice? So I've made carrot and beetroot. And that's what I did. Hey, Amina, how you doing today, girl? So I'm cleaned up my space. I'm going to get some flour, some butter. I have butter out, but I'm going to make something different today. You guys have seen me baking, and I'm baking mostly vegan and vegetarian dishes. But today, I'm going to bake fruitcake. But I'm going to make it the traditional way with eggs because someone asked me to make it for their Christmas. So I'm going to look about getting that done. I'm just moving this out of my way real quick. Make some room. Yeah. How was your day? What did you guys get up to today? I stepped away from the camera for minutes. I'm not sure who is on with me just now. But I just thought about it. Seeing as how I have this extra fine or refined fiber from the beetroot and carrot, why not make a cake? And so that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm grabbing some milk. I need some butter. I already got the sugar on the table. So I'm just going to show you impromptu because this wasn't planned. You can literally whip up something really cool when you're juicing or doing whatever. This is a fun way in which you can make some stuff. Just going to cover over those drink so nothing gets in. Be ashamed to make it and then the fly just go and pitch right on it while I'm doing something else. What is it? So I think that's sufficient plastic to cover it all. Yep. Just need a little bit more the other way now. All right, that's secured. I can get back to it later. And I'm going to show you how you can quickly convert what some people would say is waste into amazing, delicious tasty dessert. There's something that I really love. If you have watched me at all, that you know that Andrea loves. It's coconut. So I've decided, hey, why not use what I have left over and make a cake that will use coconut as well. And just making sure I clear all the juice spilled that I have on the table. Hey guys, if you're living in Toronto, especially Scarborough here in Ontario, the IKEA, what do they call those? It's like the mini IKEA store that's at Scarborough Town Center. It's closing down on January 5th. I got some amazing buys the other day when I stopped by. So I'm just putting that. You may want to check it out if you need any, dinner plates or kitchenware, stuff like that. They had good sale happening. So you may want to check that out if you need stuff. I got some really cool bowls. The regular $2 and they were just 50 cents. And I thought that was pretty cool. Don't know what you need, but I'm just letting you know you can check it out. Alrighty. So what am I gonna need? I'm gonna need some flour, some sugar, some butter, a little bit of oil, some spices, and that should set me up for a good bake. I'm just pulling the oil. Rather than going back and forth, I'm just gonna move my spice turntable to the table. Yeah. And what I need, I can easily access. Maybe I should put it on the other side. That way I don't block your guys' view. And you can see clearly what I'm doing. Okay. I think that's good. Should be able to see into my bowl okay. Right? Maybe a little bit more height on here. I think that's a good height. Okay. So I'm going to use some butter. And as usual, I'm doing vegan, so I'm doing basil. And this basil butter is pretty much done, but I'm going to use the last that's in there. And I'm just going to use my spoon to cream and mix. Not using a whisk. I'm not using a mixer. I'm just going to do this all by hand. I just want to show you how super easy it is to bake from scratch. It means, therefore, I'm going to need some flaxseed because that's my egg replacer. I'm just going to grab my grinder real quick. We could grind up some flaxseed. Let's plug in the grinder. My flaxseed is here. Hi, how you guys doing? So, it's about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. About 30 seconds. Yep, that's sufficient. Remember I was telling you guys about those bowls I got for 50 cents? See? IKEA, just 50 cents a one. That's the Scarborough Town Center mini store that they're closing down shortly on the 5th of January. So if you need any, I'd say go pick it up before they're all sold out. Because everything in this store, they're going to try to sell it out. They have some super cool deals happening right now. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to need to grind anything else. I'm just going to plug this out and tuck it away again. I'm going to get a little water on here because I need to get this all gummy. Because remember, it's my egg replacer. So because it's my egg replacer, I need to mix it. And literally about 1/4 cup of water is sufficient to mix it. I'll just add the water. I use a little bit of warm water from the kettle. You can see here. And I'm stirring it in, not too much, because I don't want it to be runny. Okay. So that's good. I need a little bit more butter. I'm adding a little bit more basil. This was in the fridge, so I'm gonna have to use some elbow grease on this one, but that's okay. I think I can manage it. Yep. That's about 3/4 cups of butter. I'm supposed to use like 2 cups of sugar. Probably gonna use more like 1.5. Yeah. And now I'm gonna cream it together. This is the old-fashioned way. This is how I grew up seeing my grandma making cakes. Just using a spoon, mixing everything together. So wooden spoons are usually best for doing this kind of stuff. It allows you to cream it together very well. Okay. Just like that, I'm done. But I remember I needed something else. I'm going to try to get it right now before I get too far going. And then realize I don't have what I need. So I'm just trying to navigate my space to fetch what I need. So I'll have everything ready when I need it. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just catching some water into my kettle. I'm going to go ahead and put it to a boil because I have some diced coconut pieces in my freezer that I want to blend to add to my cake. And to get it the way I want it to be, the best water to use for blending is the hot water. So I'd rested my juice on top of my freezer. I had to move that to get into it. And as I said, this is impromptu. I wasn't planning to do this. But then I thought, hey, what better way to demonstrate that you don't have to do anything really fancy. You don't need any big recipe. You can work with the things you have in your home and create what you need. So here are my coconut pieces. I always keep extra in my freezer. And right now I'm low. I think I have a couple more bags, but I'm low on fresh coconut. I'm going to use this blender. So this will be ready once the water is boiled. I will add it and blend it out. So I have a nice mixture, well, a creamy mixture to add to the cake that I'm making. I think this is how a lot of people come up with creating stuff. They do something and they have some extra stuff and they're like, hey, I wonder what it would be like if I were to do 1, 2, 3. And as a result, we have things that we're using today, right? Hi, Samira. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. So I've gone ahead and creamed this with my hand. I'm now going to add in my egg replacer, which is my flaxseed. So that would be equivalent of a single egg. Notice how the texture changes. See, it's gotten fluffy. And this is just from simple hand mixing. Look at that. And now I'm going to add one more. I shouldn't say one more. I'm going to add the remainder of my flaxseed, which is equivalent to one more egg. So 2 tablespoons, 1.5 to 2 tablespoons, freshly ground flaxseed. Add some water, allow it to sit for a couple minutes while it will allow the flaxseed to get all gummy and give you a texture similar like when you have eggs. Yeah, I have some people say, oh, that looks gross. It looks like poop. Yeah, but look what it's done to my batter. That's why we use it as an egg replacer. The makeup of the flaxseed, once it's grounded, it's a perfect replacement for your eggs. So that is well creamed. Now I'm going to add some spices. I have freshly grounded nutmeg that we had grated last week. I love nutmeg. And what goes well in a cake that has nutmeg as that has coconut, the nutmeg. And I put a little bit of cinnamon. I'm going to put a dash of salt. Salt brings flavor into whatever you're making. This is ground cloves. A little bit of star anise. That rich, extravagant flavor that comes from using star anise. And this is Caribbean mixed spice. Now I have almonds. I'm not going to use the almond just in case someone I know decide to have it because she's allergic to all nuts. That's the last of my vanilla essence, but I do have the real vanilla extract, so I'm just going to grab that real quick. And I'm going to add the extract because it gives a very rich flavor to the cake. And then the last things I'm going to need to go in here will be some flour, I'm going to put some baking powder, and I'll put a tad of yeast. That's my way of cheating. Adding yeast to So this is the vanilla extract that I buy. I get it to buy at Healthy Planet. Just gonna drop a little bit in there. My daughter, of course, would tell me, Mommy, that's not a little bit. That's a whole lot. I'm just gonna stir it in here. Ooh, how could I forget my trusty lemon to bring out the flavor in my cake? No, 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 I can't forget that. Just a sec, guys. I'm gonna grab the lemon. Gonna zest that lemon. That's what I'm gonna do. Add 1 lemon zest. Well, maybe not a whole lemon, but some lemon zest. I have to get it from the fridge. Yep. I'm just gonna rinse it real quick. Then you'll see me back in camera continuing to create this impromptu bake because it wasn't planned. As I said, I just had the idea that, hey, what if I was to take this and make a cake? And because I had the idea, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just zesting a lemon to add it in here. Because the lemon, oh my goodness, just does something amazing for our pastries, right? The citric acid that it contains, just the smell, and it does something to pull out all the flavors in whatever it is that you're making. So just like that, I've zested a lemon. This is a smaller lemon. Usually I do some bigger ones, but that's what I got at the supermarket the last time. Ooh, this smells so much better now. Yeah, a little bit get on my finger, and of course I'm gonna have to taste this, right? This makes me want to dance. Yeah. So now I'm gonna grab some water on my coconut to blend it. And I'm also going to go ahead and get my flour mixture next. And I'll alternate these to get my china. You can see the blend that I'm doing. It does a little bit more. I want it to be really fine, so that's why I'm bothering to blend it out this much. I want it so that when I add it, there's nothing bulky, but it's just a smooth, rich, creamy texture. That way, when you bite into the cake, it won't be tasting any way weird. It'll just be a great tasting cake. So I have everything together now. I just need to have my flour. Don't have any flour measured out. So if you've watched me before, you know I keep my stuff in jugs. So I'm just maneuvering my way around to my jug so I can get some flour. Why does it feel like the flour bin is empty? Huh? Almost, I think. Almost. I think I can. No, I'm going to need more. There's not enough in here. Do you know this trick? When you have a big tub, you drop a piece of, not a piece, a cup of bay leaf in there. It will prevent any critters from growing in your flour. So I can measure this out. This gives me 2 cups, and I need 3.5 cups. So this is roughly like 1.5. So I'm going to have to open the flour that is behind me, thankfully. I can access it. I'm going to put my baking powder in now as well. Should be putting like 2.5 tablespoons. I'm putting a little bit extra. Reason being, beets and carrots are really heavy. So when you use them in a cake, that cake is typically way more dense. I'm adding a little bit, and this is where I call it my cheat. Because they're that dense, I usually add in a little bit of yeast. And this is just a traditional yeast that I'm using. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and sift this in. Yeah. And now I'm going to mix in this dry ingredient. Remember, I said I need 3.5 cups of flour. And I've only put 1.5. So I still need to add 2 more. So that's what I'm going to fetch next. Thankfully, hubby has the flour on the floor close by that I can open. When he gets back later, he can dump it into the bin for me. So I'm just going to cream this in together. And you'll see how the cake started to come together really nice. And if you have learned anything from me, you know that when you're baking, you alternate your wets and your dry. So all my initial flour is incorporated. Now I'm going to add some milk. I'm using the Khalifa. Ooh, I can't use this. Ha ha. Darn it. She's allergic to nuts. It's almond. Is it almond or is it oats? Let's see. Yeah, it's almond. I can't use it. All right. Just in case she decides to have any, I have to avoid that milk. So I'm going to have to get another milk. Ooh, I may have put too much oil in there, but that's okay. The extra, and just added a bit. That's ginger powder I put in there just now. I'll put a bit of this. So this is my grated coconut mixture. And you notice it's not thick. It's just the right texture. Because it's warm, this will help to activate the yeast that I just added a moment ago. I'm just stirring that in real gentle. I'm going to put some of the pulp that I have from the carrot in the beetroot. So this is what, when I did the juicing earlier, felt like I was just stuttering just now. Putting a half in, and I'll put the other half in a moment. So this is going to be a very interesting color. Yeah, smells super good. Now remember, this is impromptu. This wasn't planned. This is me experimenting based on what I have available to me after juicing. I'm like, hey, I'm always telling you guys to eat to live rather than live to eat. So why not show you how easy it is to eat to live? So you don't want to eat your veggies. I've shown you can juice your veggies. Now I'm showing that you can bake your veggies. Look at that rich color. Isn't that looking fantastic? So I now need another portion of flour. So let me try to get my flour. Now, hubby made a mistake when he went to the store the last time because I told him not to buy any more enriched flour. Because the enriched flour, well, not just enriched flour, anything enriched, it means they've taken the natural ingredients they've extracted it, all the nutriments, and then they've added artificial stuff to it, and then that will give it a better or longer shelf life. So this is the 2 cups of flour that I need to add. So I'm just adding a bit of it. I'll fold this in. Then I also need to have some other milk, because the thing about baking and using things like what I'm using, you want to make sure it doesn't get dry, right? You want to maintain the moisture so that when it's baked, it's still soft and moist and make you want to keep on eating it. So this is carrot, beetroot, coconut cake that I'm whipping up here. And it's still super fluffy. So it shows you nothing's been compromised just because I'm baking something with veggies. Sorry for the background rustle. I'm just getting a baking tray in place so that I can pour my batter in. What am I going to do? I am going to go ahead and put on my oven in the meantime. I bake on the convection, so I'm putting at 375, and it will go at 350 for me to bake. So I've got my tin. I'm just going to put a piece of parchment paper in it now. All right, got my tray on standby. I need to get some coconut milk. Fortunately, I bought some Grace coconut milk yesterday, so I will just use a half of one of those tins. They say one of these canned coconut milk is equivalent to 2 coconuts. I'll work with that. So I rinsed it in, I wiped it in, just because when it's in a factory, you don't know what comes across, right? So to prevent myself from passing on anything unintentional to folks, yeah, so I'm using one of these. So my dish will remain vegan and it will remain free of nuts, because there's someone I know. I've poured a half of that in there. And that's enough to lock in the moisture. I already have the oil. And I'm putting the rest of my coconut mixture now. There we go. And I'm going to put the remainder of my carrot and beetroot blend. So basically how I got that, if you weren't on the stream earlier, you wouldn't have seen me. I was juicing. And that while juicing, I had the mindset that because it's not from me and there's extra pulp from the juice extracted, I would strain it. And then I'm like, I should make something with that. So hence, here we are, where I am now putting together a cake, which is a beetroot, carrot, and coconut cake. And I'm doing it all by hand, showing you how easy it is to cook or create tasty vegan dishes from scratch. That's the reason why I have this channel. Just to show you that life can be super simple if you want it to be. And I'm folding in everything because next is going to be my last blend with the flour. And seeing as I haven't completed everything yet, I can still do my checks. So I have creamed my butter and my sugar. I added my spices. I added some olive oil, some milk. I use coconut milk. I used the pulp from the carrot and the beetroot extract from my juicing earlier. And I'm now finalizing by adding the remainder of the flour mixture. And the reason why we sift the flour is that when you sift flour while you're baking, it guarantees you a better rise in your cake. Hey, who's with me now? So I'm just sifting the rest of the flour in. And it's just a good way for you to practice when you're baking, just to always sift your flour. Then it becomes a habit. And now I fold in the remainder of the flour. Just gently stir it in. There's no rush. No one rushing me. But by adding the extra oil and the milk, I ensure that I have a moist cake when it's all baked. My leavening agent is baking powder. Some people use baking powder and baking soda. I don't like using baking soda because baking soda, although it does help when you have a dense cake. So dense cake would be using things like apples, beets, carrots, any of the veggies, any of the fruits like pineapple, mango, because they're wet, they're moist. It makes your mixture dense. It's by dense, I mean heavy. So when you put it in, although the heat is working on it, it takes longer for it to rise evenly. So I've folded in all of my flour. I'm making sure I'm not seeing any dry patches in there. Ooh, some got on my finger. I gotta taste this, guys. That tastes so good. If I didn't tell you that beets and carrots are in this, you would not know. I'm tasting the spice. I'm tasting the coconut. This is a very rich cake. I just feel like dropping a little bit more olive oil in it, so I'm going to do that. And with that tablespoon and a half or so, I'm going to just add a tad bit more coconut milk. Now, truth be told, flour should be the last mixture that you add to your cake. I don't know why. That's what I was told when I was a kid. I should research, you know. I probably do know, but I'm forgetting. I'm getting up there. I'm getting old now, you know. You got to give some old girl a little slack. So because I did, yeah, the cake does feel right now. But because of what I did just now, and because what I know I'm supposed to do, I'm literally putting a tablespoon. All right, just a tablespoon of flour, if that much. I just want to make sure I stick to the dry being the last ingredient added. Yeah, and I fold this in now. Doesn't this look like red velvet mixture? Talk up to me now. Tell me honestly. You're on here with me looking at this. If I didn't tell you what it was, would you know that I'm not making a red velvet cake? Would you know? Can you tell that this is not a red velvet cake? Ooh, I think something got away from me in here. What is this? Is it coconut or ginger? It looks like a piece of coconut. See, despite my blending, there's one little knob of coconut that ended up escaping. I'm going to eat this one. Just because I don't want anyone to chomp down on it. This is tasting so good, guys. And it hasn't made it to the oven yet. Can't wait to see what it's going to taste like when it comes out of the oven. I want a little bit more nutmeg in there. Just because I'm tasting the coconut so strong, I'm tossing that little bit of nutmeg in there. And guess what? Nutmeg is a dry spice. My oven is ready. It is ready. Oh. So now I get to pour this beautiful cake together and get it to be baked. I'm just making room to move this all so I can put my tray down and pour out my mixture and put it in the oven to bake. I'll let it bake for about 45 minutes. That should be sufficient for it to be fully baked. And that's based on the size. So my bowl or my baking tray is ready. And I'm just gonna pour it all in. Pour it all in. Ah, look at that, guys. Look at that. So the paper fold in just at the last moment. And so my batter run over the side. And I don't want that, but it is what it is. Let's see, can I wipe it off and let it just, let's see if that works. Yeah, I think I may have rescued it. And as you can see, I am now ready to toss this in the oven. But again, it's just an impromptu idea that I'm happy that I acted on. I see another couple pieces of coconut in there. I'm not going to worry about that. But yeah, just like that, my vegan red velvet cake is ready because it tastes almost like red velvet. I don't know why, but it's moist, it's rich, it's flavorful. You saw all the spices I add, but that's me. When I'm baking, I love my spices. So I've cleaned that off because I'm trying to get everything out of the bowl. I don't want to lose anything from this rich mixture. I'm just pouring it in. Make sure everything goes in before I stick it in the oven to bake. And I can't wait to try this cake. I know for one it's full of flavor. Cleaned. Let's see, I can get the rest of this spatula. If my friend wasn't allergic to nuts, I'd probably put some almond slices on top. Because I just feel like almond or walnut or one of those stuff, pistachio maybe, would make a fantastic complement to this. So I'm going to stick this in the oven now, all ready to go bake. Alexa, set a 45 minutes cake timer.
45-minute cake timer started.
Okay, so I'm done with these stuff. If these were being used to make that fantastic cake I just whipped up. What I need now is a bowl and some mini bowls, because I'm going to show you how to make that Jamaican fruit cake from scratch. So this is all the stuff I used earlier. See all my dirties? I'm moving them out of the way. I think I'll rinse my spatula because I love working with the spatula. It is fantastic to work with. You guys know that I like to clean as I go just because it makes for a better balance. Now, it's been a long time since I've done this cake. And by a long time, I mean really long time. I haven't done it in like no, personally, I haven't done it in about 15 years. But I did do it last year with my girlfriend. She wanted to do something for unique, different for her YouTube channel and her socials. So I did one with her. But now I'm going to do it just because, as I said, someone asked me to bake it for them for their Christmas. And this is the time that we typically do all our baking at least a week in advance so that there's no rush. So I pretty much have, I think, 3 orders for cake. And so I'm going to make the regular cakes for them. And I need a deep bowl for this because I'm doing a full batter. I'm just going to grab my deep bowl. Now, this is a recipe that can be done with a spoon as well. You can cream the sugar and the butter with a spoon. Am I going to do that? I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to. I'll use the spoon. I mean, you guys can see into my bowl. Okay. So that's the goal. The goal is that you can always see as I mix. I'll just elevate this a tad bit more again so you can see more clearly. Oh, there was something I did not do. And I'm just remembering it. So my butter's been sitting out for a day and a half. It's very cold here in Toronto, so I'm just pulling the things I need that I had to decide for this. I have my butter, got my eggs, I got my sugar, got my fruits. I do need a little bit more wine or rum for making the cake. So I'm just gonna pull that out as well. And I need to blend out the fruits. I did not do that. Typically I blend in advance, but you guys are gonna see me blending today. I might just use, I'm debating something, but We'll be fine. I'll use the red label wine because that's traditional what's used, along with a little bit of Mr. Ray and his nephew in this mixture. Okay. I need to secure the rest of that coconut milk so it doesn't spill all over the place. Grab a little bottle to put that away. And it's a Wednesday. Like, I had my physiotherapy yesterday, and I find the day after I'm usually way slower. I don't know, maybe it's my body just reacting to the extra stress that they put on it. But yeah, it's been one of those slow days for me. So it's afternoon, or rather evening now, evening time, and I'm getting around to making up something. So I'm just pouring out my extra milk that I did not use just now. And I'll have that to use to bake when I do something else later. I'm debating what I'm going to be cooking up or baking up for the rest of the week. I'm not sure if I want to be baking really close to Christmas. Oh, guys, I did do my sorrel the other day. I did my sorrel wine. I need to post something for you guys. I think I may have posted. Maybe I did post it. I'm not remembering. Adding a little bit more sugar. I need something for my egg trash. Let's get a bigger bowl. And I need a lemon or two. So what I do when I'm making these stuff with the eggs, I always have one that I break it in, just because when you're baking with eggs, you don't want an accident. You know, one that you can't recover from. So the eggs, sometimes the eggs are not good. And you go ahead and break it right into your batter. That's a ruined batter with all your good stuff. I can't afford that. So I guess that's one of the reasons I'm happy that I mostly bake vegan or vegetarian, because I don't have to worry about that. I'm just fetching a couple lemons because I'm going to need to zest them. And I'm going to need a little fork. So one thing I learned from my grandma when I was young, and my cousins, my older cousins who bake, they told me that when you're baking eggs and you're using eggs, there's this little white stuff that are in it. And the official word for those are membranes, right? You see these little membranes in the egg. Well, if you ever had a cookie, bite into a cookie or bite into a cake, and there was a really raw taste, that's what causes it. Because most professional bakers, they don't take it out. It's time consuming. Who's going to bother to do that, right? But when you take that out, your cake, your cookies, they don't have that rawness. And that's what turned me off from eating cookies and cakes at public spaces. Because the moment I take it up to go take a bite, I'm smelling rawness. So just like that, my butter, that's 4 sticks of butter. So one of these, most times you're baking, they will tell you need 2 sticks of butter, 4 sticks of butter. One of these, if you use one of these big butter, this is lactantia. Yeah, this country term they say, but I believe I got no salt. Yeah, non-salt, unsalted. This is the unsalted one. So I'm making sure everything that I need is ready at my fingertips. But I did not blend my fruit, so I think I'm going to make sure that is blended before I get started with the mixing. That way there's no delay. Now, when you're making black cake, you can use browning or molasses to give it, or burnt sugar is what they call it. So what my grandma used to do, she used to take the sugar, she would use a little bit of butter and add that to the pot, the sauce pot, and she'd burn it until it gets really dark. It's not burnt, but they call it burnt sugar because the color of the sugar is so much darker when they're done. I need one more thing, and I'm having a senior's moment because I went to the table and I couldn't remember what that was. What was it that I needed? Yes, I remember now. Hey guys, I can laugh at myself, right? I've got that age now where I can laugh at myself if I forget something. Yeah, so pretty much what I came in the kitchen for was a blender cup, and I completely forgot once I got in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and transfer the fruits in here. I'll move this so you guys can see me as I do it. There's currently nothing there. It's empty, but I want to make sure that my fruits. So I stewed it the other day, and then I wasn't using it all, so I put it in the freezer. So that's the reason it's not blended out right now. But that doesn't mean I can't blend it new. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it to blend. So to this, I'm going to add a little bit of extra wine. I may or may not put the rum in there. But yeah, see, my prunes, my raisins, my cranberries. I have some apricots in there too. So yeah, that's a rich, very rich flavor. Then for the original recipe that I use, that you've seen me using over and over, it calls for 2 cups. Or is it 2.5? I'm gonna look at that old recipe I've got here. I've been using this since 2010. It says I'm supposed to use mixed fruits. 1.5 cup of raisin, 1 cup of mixed fruits. So 2.5 cups. I'm correct. My memory is functional. So yeah. Once it's blended, it's gonna fold this up. So I'm not wanting to put too much in there, but make sure I have sufficient. Now, as you know, I've never really followed a recipe per se, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try blending it all and see what happens. So this is like 3 cups. Maybe I'm gonna have to take some out and then go ahead and add a little bit more liquid to get the rest of it blended. But that's what I'm gonna do with it. Now I'm gonna add some of the wine. And I'm using a red label wine. Yeah, real good stuff. Jamaican black wedding cake, fruit cake, some people call it. I guess it depends on the region you're from. They'll call it one of the two. I believe I have sufficient wine in this to blend it. So I'm just going to use wine, the red label wine, and see how this comes out now. I don't need to say I'm going to see how it comes out. I know how it's going to come out, but what I'm trying to say is that when I do this, I know that the cup is going to get full. Oops. I think I overheated. The moisture, whenever the moisture gets sucked out of the center, it stops. I don't like that, but I guess it's the nature of how they make these as a safety. So if you can see, some fruits is blended, some is not. A lot of people are okay with that, but I know from experience that most people prefer the blended fruits rather than the chunky pieces. So because of that, I blend. But it's basically saying it's not enough moisture. So I'm adding a bit more rum, not rum, wine. I'll stir it up with the wine added. So traditionally in Jamaica, folks either use just red label or red label and the Ray Never white rum, or some just use rum. So those are the three way I've seen it. Now in more modern times, I've seen where folks use different types of liqueur into it. And it's up to you if you want to experiment with that. But I'm making it for some people who want it the traditional way. So I'm just going to do it that way, which is using the... No, this is not in good. Yeah, I think that's good now. Yep, it's stirring it up good. So then let's go high. I'm going to add a little bit of Mr. Ray and his nephews in there too. That's about a quarter cup I just put in there. Just make sure the moisture, the extra moisture that I added go way down. So now it can power. Woo! That rum, whoa! That rum is strong, guys. So this is what I use. It's called the Overproof, bottled by Ray Nephew blenders in Kingston, Jamaica since 1825. I think I have too much in there, like I said initially. There's too much. So I'm going to take it a bit. This blender is not meant for something like this. I say that because I put too much in there, but it's not that. It's just that the nature of the fruits, and then when you want to blend it, it's not flowing through well. So you have like chunky prunes like those that don't get blended. I think this is sufficient for what I want though. So I'm going to put that amount back to blend and add a little bit more of the red label into it. Alrighty. Making sure that it's all the way down to the bottom. Okay. My fruit spilled over. And I've wiped it up. Alrighty. Try to get this blended out now. Yeah, it looks like it liked this mixture that I've done finally. Nope, it's still overheating. I'm hoping I don't have any chunky pieces left because I don't want it to be chunky. See that? I'm just checking to see if there are any chunks in here. No. It's not as fine as I'd like to have it blended, but it's blended. Do I want to try it one more time? Let's see. I should have used the big blender. I knew I should have used it, but I chose not to, so I have to suffer the consequences, which is doing this multiple times. Whereas if I had used the big blender, it would have just been blended out in a couple minutes. Okay. Nope, it's still overheated. It won't blend for me, so guess what? I'm going to call it a day, and I'll just use it as is. It's blended. It's just that I personally prefer it finer. I'm not the one eating it. It won't pose a problem to those who are eating it because it will still be finely blended. But this is my little extra that I have here. I'm going to move it out of the way. Rest this to the side. So I've moved everything that I won't be needing out of my way, I believe. Need to have some sugar. Have some eggs. I'm not quite ready for my lemon yet, so I can rest them over here. And now you can see me as I make this cake from scratch. And I think I'm going to use that spoon, guys. Just habits, I guess. I'm accustomed to using the spoon. And even though I have a hand mixer and I do use it, I think I need to get myself one of those mixer, like, stand mixers. And that way it makes for an easier life. This cake is just smell not the place something fierce. That is so, so nice. I'm just going to peep into the oven just because I want to see what this is looking at. Coming right now. Ooh. Yes, guys. It's looking scrumptious. Yes, it's looking amazing. Alexa, how much time left on my cake timer?
Your cake timer has 21 minutes and 48 seconds.
I'd given it 45 minutes. That's good. So, first step in making black cake, the Jamaican black cake, is to cream the butter. So it's amazing how the butter is still standing up, even though it's been sitting out for 2 days. And that just goes to speak. It's cold in Toronto. Toronto is cold. Oh my. Now, most people use either white sugar or a blend, but the whiter the bread, the quicker you get. The same thing with the sugar. The whiter the sugar. Oops, my orange peel that I keep in here is coming out. So you may or may not have realized, but orange peel, if you add it to your jar of jar of sugar, guys, where am I coming from with that? It keeps the sugar from going lumpy. So I'm only using brown sugar. But I'm going to need a little bit more sugar. And you see that? Yeah. Woo, my hands. That's rough on the hands, but it's coming together. Just getting a little bit more sugar. Because that's what the recipe calls for. More sugar. There we go. 2.5 cups of sugar. In total, it's been added. I'm pouring the remainder of my sugar in my sugar jar. Oh, I just made a spill. Yeah. I'll put a little bit of lemon zest in it at this time. Because the lemon zest in the sugar help to make you get a richer flavor when the cake is all done. So that is sufficient. Lemon, man, I'm telling you. It transforms any pastry you're making. Okay. I'm making a red velvet, a vegan red velvet cake. Yeah.
Mashallah isn't here. It's a random man in the bus, driving the bus, and he didn't understand. He didn't understand what Jose was saying and what the other people were saying. So we on.
Okay, so now we know the answer.
I knew I smelled something sweet baking though.
Yeah, it's delicious. There's no one on right now. Okay, so now it's time to crack some eggs and take out some membrane.
Oh, you know that's not for you. No, that's not for you.
No, this is not my cake.
For the church?
No.
You selling it?
Yeah, there's one lady who's been asking for, and now, someone wanted a sample, right?
Oh, no. I didn't know.
You didn't remember that somebody told you that they wanted to sample it?
Dina?
Yeah.
No, Dina wanted to try the non-vegan black cake.
This is it.
Oh.
Oh my, sometimes people really, really don't hear what they're saying when they're talking to me. So that's cake number one. Egg number one. I'll crack number two so have it ready for me when I've mixed in. I'm supposed to use 6 eggs. Whatever I'm going to use 6 today or not, I don't know. But I'm supposed to use 6 to 8. So as you can see, I'm struggling to get this out, but I want it out. Yeah, I got it out. So now I'm going to put a bit of the zest with each one I add, because the zest of the lemon neutralizes the rawness of the egg. And just like that. And if you notice the change in the texture, it's just like when I add the flaxseed earlier, if you were watching the egg. So you see the flaxseed is a perfect egg replacer because it does the same thing to the dough as the egg.
Guess what? People were like, "Oh, who's your favorite cake?" Because they were looking at me and they're like, "Who is it?" I'm like, "It's cake from I don't know." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I see it! I get it!"
Okay.
And I'm like, "Look at this thing." And then my friend's like, "Who am I?" And I'm like, "The Grinch." She was literally wearing a green top, green pants, and she had black on underneath. I'm like, seriously. She's like, "That does not look like the Grinch. How'd you guess that?" I'm like, "I don't know, because she likes the Grinch. And she's wearing green. Duh." And she's like, "Mm-hmm." And she's like, "What am I?" I'm like, "Scrooge Ebenezer."
There we go. White membrane. There's
It's
usually
a
one or
membrane.
two. There you go.
It's a
Membrane number 2. So by doing it this way, it makes life easier for me. And that's
Isn't that a dessert spoon? And fork.
and I'm just creaming it all together. I've seen some people post it, and I hear others saying, "Don't take out the white. Don't you cook it when you're even egg? Don't you cook it?"
No, you didn't.
Oh, I didn't what?
Oh, you didn't.
Oh, Lord. So, guys.
Well, I know what I'm eating for dinner.
What are you eating?
Fish sticks.
Okay.
It tastes good. It tastes like chicken.
All right. So that's egg number 3. Egg number 3.
I look like Kim Impossible.
And I'm putting some lemon zest in there again. I believe I'll add a little bit of lemon juice as well, just to get rid of the rawness from these eggs. Oh my goodness. It's been so long since I baked with eggs that I forgot what it's like. See, it took what? Egg 1, 2, 3 before it gets that rich, smooth creaminess versus when I use the flaxseed. By the end of the first tablespoon of flaxseed in, it is super, super fluffy. But it took 3 eggs to get the same result here. Oops. Oopsie. No, I'm done. So the person I'm baking for, or the persons I'm baking for, they're meat eaters. So eggs are okay for them. They've tried the vegan, and they love the vegan. So they ask if they can have. So that's egg number 4. I'm going to crack egg number 5 now. Just so that it's ready for me. And I'm searching for the membrane here. Yep, there's one. Oops. Sometimes I give up on taking them out because they give me a fight. But they make for a better eat for whoever is having it when you take them out. And there's the other one. Can I get it? Let's see. Got a part of it. Ah, I'm not gonna worry. I got most of that one. So lemon zest. And I'm at egg number 5. So see, zest. Four added. That's egg number 5 added to the batter. Need some more lemon zest. I'm gonna need some more in a bit for egg number 6. Right? There we go. I can see these so clearly. Yep. Yeah. Alexa, how much time left on my timer? Okay. That's egg number 6. Add in my lemon zest. That's some good zest. Yes. So just like that. I'm creaming in a little bit of the mixed fruits. Hey babes, can you throw the flour for me? I'm adding some of molasses. As I said, you can use molasses, you can use brown sugar or burnt sugar. Not too much, just a little bit. Because I want to have that dark, rich color. I'm also going to use some browning. Usually about a 1/4 cup of browning, which is like 6 to 8. You guys, so sorry about that. I may have been here chit-chattering and not realizing you were not hearing me. I have now gone ahead and changed out my microphone. So you should be able to hear me just fine now because I have changed out my microphones. So yeah, guys, look at that. And I am now well on the way to making me a delicious traditional Jamaican black cake. What's your favorite cake to have in the holidays time? So I've added some fruits, I've added the molasses, some browning, then I need to add some flour, baking powder, and just continue to alternate along with some other spices. I'm going to check on my cake because I can't afford for that cake and that beautiful vegan cake to burn. So yeah, it's looking fantastic, guys. It's looking super amazing. I just flipped it around. It should be baked. I need a tester. I'll check to see if it's coming clear because I don't want it to dry out. If it's not, then I can just let it have another 5 minutes or so. It depends on how the tester come back. So I'm checking. Ooh, ooh, it's perfectly baked. According to my tester, it doesn't need any extra time. That is awesome. 45 minutes did it. And I'm going to show you guys so you can see while I rest it aside to be cooled. Freshly baked from the oven. Look at this. Show and tell time, guys. Look, look, look. Look at this. My cake, it's all done. 45 minutes. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. It took 45 minutes to bake smoothly, evenly, perfectly. Yeah, so this is my vegan red velvet. I'm just teasing. It's not. I have in there some beets, some carrots, and some coconut with a whole lot of spice, but it's vegan and it tastes amazing. So I'm waiting for it to cool a bit. Although it's not going to be eaten at home, I want to cut it so you guys can see it. Yeah, so that one is cake number one. It's done. It's fully done, done. Perfection. Okay, so let's finish up this Jamaican Black Cake that I'm making here now. I need 3.5 cups of flour. Alexa, stop. So that's 1.5 cups of flour. And put it in some baking powder. A fruit cake is a very dense cake. So it's not meant to be light and flaky. No, it's dense because of all the fruits that are added into it. Yes. So that's the first flour mixture. And after I fold this all in, I will go ahead and add some spices along with some more of the blended fruits. I'll add a little bit of rum and maybe some of the red label wine. And what this will do, it will ensure that I got a really rich, moist cake when it's done baking. Alrighty, so now I'm adding some more fruits. So the freshly blended fruits. So most people in the Caribbean, they put their fruits down this year to bake next year. However, if you're not able to do that, you can get your fruits. So for this blended fruits, I have apricots, prunes, currants, raisins, and cranberries. And then what I did, I put some alcohol in a pot. Mainly, I used some red label wine, some of the Rare Nephew rum, overproof rum. I used some spices. What kind of spices, you ask? Like the star anise, the nutmeg, the cinnamon, the cloves. And then I let it boil. So that's why I say I stew the fruits for about 5 minutes. And then after that, then it gets blended and added to the mixture. So I don't want to lose any of that fruit that I have here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pour the rum and the red label wine directly in. The fruits are too heavy on the knob and it fell. Look at that. Yeah. I want to get all of that good stuff out. So I'm just going to pour some extra rum in here. The real deal, nothing fake. It's been around Mr. Ray and his nephews since the 1800s. According to them, 1825. I never checked it out. I'm going to go with what they say. And I'm using some red label as well, right? And I'm going to use that to mix out my blender. That's a good portion. So this is the regular fruit cake, black cake as they call it. I'm adding some rose water. I'm adding some pure vanilla extract. I'm adding some almond extract. Some cinnamon, ground cinnamon. I want a bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and open that. Yep. This is some ground cloves. About a half a teaspoon of these spices. The most you use is the nutmeg and the cinnamon. This is star anise. Mixed Caribbean blend of allspice. And my favorite, Mr. Mrs. Nutmeg. I would grate a whole nutmeg in here. That's how much I love it. And you can't go bad with it. So all of these been added and I'm just stirring them in. I need to add 2 more cups of flour to this batter. And yes, I'm making it all by hand. No mechanics, all hand process. Just because I believe that when I'm making stuff for folks, you gotta put heart into it. And the best way to put all heart into it is to do it all from scratch. This alcohol is no joke. I don't use alcohol personally, except when I'm baking. And that's because when it bakes, the alcohol evaporates, but I still have all that rich goodness. I'm trying to get it all. And now I'm going to add some more flour. The rum and the wine. Oh my goodness. Some people, they love the fruit so much, they barely add any flour. But I'm not trying to give people a reason to get to the bathroom. And that's the good thing about this cake. It's not just dense, it's not just moist, it's not just rich, it's not just flavorful, but it has many nutritional values in that if you're constipated, this is the cake you want to try. And I'm not doing it to knock the cake, because a couple slices of this, trust me, your bowel's gonna thank you. But it's so good, you don't even realize what it's doing for you. Yes. And this is a cake and a half. Alexa, what's the time?
The time is 5:42 p.m.
Okay. It's not as late as I thought it was. This is a rich cake, guys. Super moist, super rich cake. And I'm trying to get all the fruits that in here. It's just a little bit more left in. I'm trying to get out. I'm going to add a little bit more wine. And that's just because I really don't want to waste any of this rich blend that I made. It's still not coming out, but I got the most of it from the jar. It's just what's in the lid that's not coming out for me. Not gonna complain. I got most of it. Right? I got most of it. See a little bit in the bottom. See if I can get it out too. How was your day? What did you guys do today? What did you eat today? You feel like sharing? Yep. I think I did it. got all the lemon zest I can get off this, I believe. See, there's a little bit left. Yep, that's it. And I want a little bit of this lemon juice. I'm only doing that because I've used the real eggs. If I had not used real eggs, I wouldn't be using any lemon juice at all. And just a tad bit more of the browning. Any at all. The vanilla is just amazing. Right. I just spilled something. What was it that I dropped? Okay. That's my orange, no, anise. I thought it was my orange essence. Okay, to finish this up now, I'm going to add the last of my flour. And then I gotta get them in the pans. I've done so much today, guys. So much today. Now, I don't remember where I put my baking tins. And this is what happened because I got myself distracted doing something else earlier, making something I didn't plan to make. That being my vegan cake. Delicious as it looks, it was not what I had intended to make today. But I remember I found it, guys. I found what I was looking for. It wasn't that far away. So yeah, I need to take a break. There's a syrup I should have put over my cake that will make it just be so much better when it's done. It's supposed to be put on it when it's hot. So it's like a lemon syrup. I completely forgot about doing that. What that does, it locks the moisture into your cake so that when you do eat, it is super, super moist. I'm still going to do it, but I'm just going to finish adding the flour that needs to go in here. That's the last of the flour that's being added to my cake batter now. Yeah. And my Jamaican Black Cake is pretty much ready for the oven now. Cake is getting the last fold of the flour that it needs. This is how I grew up seeing my grandma making black cake and every kind of cake. And trust me, my grandmother made the best cakes. So the wine was added, the rum was added, the fruits, the browning, the molasses. All the spices. Smelling great. But this is the regular. It's not the vegan. This is the regular. I'm also going to put some sorrel to draw. Any Jamaican in the house will know what that means. So there we have it. Rich, ready to go into the oven. Jamaican Black Cake. Right, guys? Just like that. Okay, I'm just gonna get my tins ready. The traditional way with the tins is to flour and butter and flour. We are more modern nowadays. We tend to use parchment paper. I'm trying to get the protective plastic that's over my trays off so I can fill them and place them in the oven. So it's just these size, the rounds, the 9.3 rounds, that's what I'm using. I think I have sufficient butter left on the packaging to use. I think I'll do one with the butter around the sides and such, and the other one I'll use parchment paper. So I don't like how that came out. I'm just going to go back to my parchment paper setup. Okay. So I do believe I'm going to need another tray just because of the amount that I have here. Cutting out the rounds for the tin. That's perfect. Perfection. Now I'm doing one for the smaller. Much smaller container. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So now, can you see this? I'm just adding my cake batter to the bowls, or should I say baking bowls? Just moving it closer because I don't want any spills. I want it to look perfect. Okay. Put a little bit in this one. Doesn't need as much because it's just a single. So this is a sample for somebody they've tried the vegan and then they heard that I can make the regular. So they want to taste it too. But I've already gotten an order. She just want to confirm which one is it that she wants. Does she want the vegan or does she want the regular? So that's ready. And now for the last one. That's 1, 2, or we want to put 4 in there. 3, 4, and I had a spill. I've never had a spill when I'm doing these. So I'm putting a little extra just because of that spill. So just like that, my cakes are now ready for the oven. I'm baking it at 350 degrees, but I'm using the convection, so it's really 375. It's supposed to be baked for 2 hours. So I'm baking it at the 350, which is, as you know, a regular oven would be 375. I'm going to do that for 45 minutes, and then I'm going to put down the temperature to 300, which would be like 325 for the last hour. So because it's so dense, it takes a long time to bake. Add a little bit more on this one too, so they're evenly matched. And once that's baked, I'll call the lady to let her know her cake is ready. I don't like baking in these tins, but I couldn't find the tins I prefer, so I'm working with these. I have a little extra. I'm not sure if I can find another little container to bake in. I will bake another small one. Ah, that's a good amount I lost here. I didn't realize so much had spilled from me. But yeah, just like that, my Jamaican Christmas black cake is ready for the oven. I need a container to go in the bottom to keep the moisture locked in for the cakes. I think I found something I can use. Just gonna fill it and put it into the oven. This will guarantee that my cake will be super, super moist. Okay. I've put my container with water to the bottom of the oven, and now I'm going to put in the cakes. I'm going to put them on a tray. I'm hoping they can both hold on here. So the reason why you hear me bouncing the cakes like that, it's to ensure that there's no ear pockets in them. Okay, and just like that, they're ready for the oven. I'm still gonna put a little bit of water on the tray itself before I place it in the oven. Nothing much because I already have the water below to lock in the moisture. But because it's foil, so foil tins, and I'm putting it on the tray. Just want to make sure that it doesn't get too hot at the bottom. And this is your sample. Alexa, set up 30-minute cake timer. Okay, so now that's done. What I'm gonna do is do my cleanup that I need to do in the kitchen, but I'm gonna show you guys how to prepare that lemon glaze for your cakes when you bake. It's not difficult to do. It's rather simple. It's just like a syrup that you could. I could technically use maple syrup, but I don't want to use maple because maple is super sweet. So I'm gonna use the lemon zest, the lemon juice, and a little bit of brown sugar. Nothing much. Right? So I have one lemon here. Get a little bit of sugar. Yeah, that's a little bit over a tablespoon. I'm gonna rinse off my zester. Okay. I'm rinsing my lemon. And I just rinse my strainer because I'm going to strain the lemon juice. So first I'm going to zest. And then I'm going to do the juice. I need to slice the lemon. So, you know what? I want to make sure that I don't lose any of this zest. Yes. All right. So that's a good zesting. Now for the juice. When you know that when you roll the lemon or the lime, it makes your juice from the fruit flow much better. Yeah. Makes for a much juicier lime or lemon. I'm just squeezing. The lemon, getting all the juice out. I forgot that I have a juicer. You know what? I have one of those. That's when you're not accustomed to certain things. You forget that you have them. So I have the juicer where I can just put the lemon in and press it. But did I remember about it? Nope. Then that I'm halfway through, I remember that it's there. But that's okay. Hopefully I'll remember the next time. There we go. And there you have it. So now I'm just going to warm this over the stove. Let it heat, caramelize a bit, and then I'll brush that over my cake. So that's all I'm doing today. The black cake is baking. My zest is starting to sizzle. I'm cleaning up my surface. And no, I didn't use my trusty mat today. I usually do, but this was a fast move type of thing, so I just let it be. Alrighty, I'm gonna bring my cake over here, and then you can see how I glaze it. This locks in the moisture, so whether I cut it today, tomorrow, or whenever, it still has the moisture locked in. I learned this little trick sometime last year, I think it was. I don't always do it, but it's a way to guarantee that your cakes stay moist and soft, ready for you whenever you are ready to cut into it. So yeah. Finish wiping off the table. And let's check on that drizzle that I'm gonna, or syrup I'm gonna put on top here. If I can't find my brush, I'll just pour it on. It does the same thing. Just that the brush gives it to you more evenly, right? That syrup looks good. Can I find a brush? Yes, I did. So I guess yes, I can. And then the last thing I have to do is to bottle up my drink that I made about an hour ago, but because when you're live streaming, you don't get a chance to readily do a lot of stuff if you don't have someone to help you. So I was trying to keep my movements fluid, go quickly enough so that you guys can see everything and get what I wanted to share with you. So yeah. I believe I did a lot. I'm just testing the syrup, making sure it's not too tart. Ooh, it's perfectly tart. I should have put a little butter in there, but I didn't. But should be okay. It's the perfect texture now. Alrighty. So just so you guys can see this, I put in the syrup right across the top. I didn't do a lot of syrup. I just did sufficient, I believe, so that I can brush it in. Now, this should have been done just as it came out of the oven, but because I was doing the other cake, I didn't do this. But it's a good way to lock in the moisture when you bake. Just do a little bit of lemon syrup. And for this, I just use like a tablespoon of sugar, brown sugar, maybe a tablespoon of fresh lemon zest. And then add little, I did 2 lemon juices. So this one got 2 juices. So it's zest, juice, sugar. And technically you should put a little butter or margarine in there. But you still get a rich. And just like that, yeah. It's just me digging for gold here, guys. Because technically, based on what we have, there's nothing left in the pot. I was just trying to milk as much as I could out of it. Okay. And we'll be done with this cake. The only thing left is to slice into it and taste it. But as I said, it's not meant for home. And that's why I didn't use the almond or the almond milk in it. Because I have folks who don't use that. They're allergic. And I want to make sure that I don't trigger off their allergy by using the almond or the almond milk. So those were left out of it. So now to bottle up my juice, the last thing I have left to do, and wait for the cake to bake in the oven. And there you have it. My succulent red velvet, if you know, you know, cake. Isn't that scrumptious? Do you want some? It looks so good. So it's still hot. Oops. It hasn't cooled down yet, guys. So I'm gonna let it sit and cool. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. It's that simple. Now, I'm not gonna pour on any of this stuff at the end. A lot of people traditionally pour this on, but because I don't know who's gonna partake of it, I personally do not pour on when I'm done baking because I do not want to trigger anything for the end user. So I don't standardly. I still have a little bit of cake mixture here. If I can find a really small container, I'll bake it up. Oh, I see a dish. I could try baking it in it. That way, daughter and hubby can have their own little personal cake. I could try that. See if I can get these. Technically, they're ice cream jars, but they can be baked in. Or should I say ice cream cups, not jars. But you could bake in them. Right? I can bake in them. I think I'm going to do that. See if I can get 2 for them. I'm gonna see if I can get it. Get it. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. So let's see. Can I get okay. Yeah. I got them down to the bottom. Will that be sufficient or do I need to put something around? Let's see about putting something around. Piano, please.
Lemon.
Yeah. Let's put this in first. And then put that down. I think that works pretty well. To get the same thing happening for the other one. Hi there, thanks for stopping by. What's your favorite thing to bake? Or do you bake? Do you bake?
My favorite thing to
Oh, I'm sorry, I just saw your question, darling. I'm making Jamaican black cake. It's already in the oven, but I have a little bit extra, and I'm seeing if I if I can. It's still warm. Somebody want to try my vegan cake?
I don't know. Oh yeah, that is the one that you just.
Yeah, that the impromptu cake that I made that I didn't plan to, but I whipped up, and it came out amazing. So what I'm trying to do is see if I can get two baby cakes out of my remaining dough for my hubby and for my um,
Lovely daughter.
beautiful teenage daughter. You like when I give you compliments, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So I'm trying to get two. I don't know if I can get the two, but I'm going to try. I think it's time I stop trying on this one.
Yeah.
I'll get a little something for them so they can taste. This is a problem when you don't have enough to do cupcakes, but you have enough that can make a cupcake. You have more than one person, right? That you need to make those cupcakes for. So I think that's safe to say I'll get a little mini cupcake with that one. Will I get one with what's left? I think so. I can get two.
Oh.
But the other cakes are in the oven right now. Can you read that comment for me, pretty girl?
Yes, I love to make lasagna and homemade chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, I love making chocolate chip cookie.
Mama, you hardly even make chocolate.
I know, but I prefer white chocolates. Do you ever make white chocolate chip cookies, darling? Tell me. Do you ever make those? Because to me, that's like the best. Anyone can make a chocolate chip cookie, but the white chocolate chip cookies and getting it tasting good. Mm-mm-mm. Do you put vanilla spice in your chocolate chip cookies? Let me know. In the Caribbean, I think nobody goes without having this cake. You're making a lot of noise in my background, child.
I'm sorry.
This is the Christmas cake. This is the wedding cake. This is the family getting together cake. This is all those special big moments kind of cake in the Caribbean. This cake is what some people call the bomb. The bomb, the bomb. What's that phrase that they use? But I mean, it's the only cake that's worth having. If you're a Jamaican and you don't know how to make this cake or you've never had this cake, they'll tell you you're not a joke. you're a fake. What do they call it? Jamaican? Yeah, I mean you're a fake Jamaican. But this is the cake that we make during the holidays and at festive times. It's typically the cake you'll get when you go to weddings in Jamaica. And I'm really trying to milk everything out of this thing to get a proper little cupcake happening.
You know what cake I want for my wedding?
Come around, come and read again, please.
No, but I am gonna make them. That sounds really good. Thanks for the idea.
Okay, cool. Yeah, make white chocolate cake, cake cookies, because I'm talking about cake here, right? And then when you make them, add just a tad bit of vanilla if you don't normally do that. Trust me, especially if you can get the vanilla essence, the vanilla extract versus the essence. It does do wonders for your flavors. I also used to like making oatmeal cookies, but I haven't made that in a hot minute. It's been a long time since I've done that. I think I've scraped everything I can from this bowl.
More cake I want for my wedding. Like, you know how you did the cheesecake fruit cake?
Mm-hmm.
That, but it's a lemon cheesecake fruit cake.
All right. So I'm just gonna go like this with them. It will get rid of the ear pockets and make sure that when they bake up, they come up a bit poofy. So I'm not sure if you were here earlier, but I'll show you what I made. This is 100% vegan. See that? Doesn't it look good? It's a combination. What I mean by a combination, earlier I did some juicing, and I because it's not for us. If it was for us, I would have just had it as is. But because it's not for us, I decided to strain. And that's those very fine, tiny fibers, which are good for us, right? But most people don't like it. Oh, my cakes are looking good. My cakes are looking fantastic. So I'm just sneaking these two little babies in here. But the rest have been baking for a while, and it's coming together nicely. So yeah, so I am, thank you. My daughter, who is not one that is known for eating these type of cake, she's bugging me to cut into it. So I took the five. No, I heard that she said it looks good. I'm just telling him or her, I don't know who it is, that you have been bugging me to cut it from I put the glaze on. So basically what I did, I took the fibers from the beets, the carrots that I used to make the drink, and then I yes, you can have that bowl. And please go with it, please, let's go with that bowl.
Oh, that actually tastes pretty good.
I know you're gonna try something weird. So when I was straining it off earlier, I'm like, you know what, I should make something with this fiber. And then I'm like, I'll make some carrot cake. But then I did the beets, and I'm like, no, I should make like a red velvet, vegan red velvet with this stuff. And that's basically what I did. I used the fibers from the carrots and the beets. So I used my juicer, and I juiced some carrots and beets and ginger. Hey, baby girl, do you know where the lid for this one is?
No.
I can't find it. You must have put it away. Can you double check in the drainer?
No.
So I'm just gonna combine everything. That way, when I guess there was some.
I don't see it.
Ooh, that is coming close to the top. This is so rich. No, I'm not sure where it could be, but I want a lid. So can you find me another one that I can use to?
What?
A lid for that one.
I'm just gonna.
So pretty much that's what I did. This is just beetroot and carrot. I'm just gonna get the strainer. I want to make sure that there's nothing extra in it because I'm serving it to other people, not myself. I don't care about that because I know the fiber is good for me. But a lot of other people do not care for the extra fiber. So I'm making sure to strain. And I'm looking for some bottles. I think I need 2 more bottles. Beautiful. She found it. Seriously. I should check my time so I know how much time is on the little ones I put in. Although I can usually tell by the smell where I am with them. Alexa, how much time left on my timer?
Your cake timer has 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Ooh, 1 minute. So this is beetroot and carrot and ginger. I use my juice extractor to make this. But because I'm going to be serving it at a luncheon in a couple days, I am making sure I go ahead and strain, get rid of the extra fiber in it. That way it will be a pleasant experience for others because when you're trying to tell people to eat healthy, to drink healthy, it's
Are you talking
a
about
challenge,
eat things that-
especially when it contains things that they don't care for. Like most people don't care for the extra fiber. Now, mind you, that fiber is good for them, but you can't tell them that. They just don't want it.
like you want some stuff.
So literally, it was this type of stuff I used earlier. And make the cake. I'm just going ahead and straighten out some more just to make sure that I don't have any excess fiber going in the drink. Although I don't think they'll really notice it because it will just be a little bit. Ooh, I think my charge is running out on my phone. So my stream is probably going to end prematurely, but that's okay. It was great chatting with you. I'm inclined now to think maybe I should be making some chocolate chip cookies soon. I might just do that because the family likes that. And I have a couple of friends who love chocolate chip cookies too, so I may make some. What I try to encourage people is to eat to live rather than live to eat. Because if you eat to live, the quality of your years will be fantastic. So you can take a dive into my channel, see if you like anything that I have there. Like, subscribe, share. And I hope to see you when I come back on for another stream soon. Alrighty? Take care. This is a great blood builder type of juice. We've seen all these videos now talking about beetroot being the power fruit. I've been having beetroot and carrot and ginger juice since I was a kid. Now I extract it myself using a juicer, and I'm sharing that with others. Bottle number 1 is done. I need a funnel for this. Got 300. Yeah, my cakes are looking good. And I have that water to keep them moist, so that's even better. Thank you. I appreciate it. You have a good one too, darling. I'll just let the stream go until my battery dies and it ends natural death. Just because my hand is in this thing now. I think I'm going to try to juice some more carrots tomorrow and some ginger to add to this. So at least I'll have serving for about 30 folks. That's my goal. Rich, rich, rich. Filled with antioxidants. That is so yummy. I tried some earlier. Oops. I just had a spill and I've done so good so far.